on the calendar, and then you double click. Notice that we got, there we go. As soon as that goes, there we go. So, so notice, by the way, that you have 2 assignments due this week. Those 2 assignments are due tomorrow. And hopefully you've already finished at least one of those assignments. So that was kind of what we talked about in the last class. I just made them both due on Friday. Makes it a little easier. If you need to turn them in on this weekend, it's still going to be marked late, but you guys know I don't count down for that. So that's okay, but just make sure you get it done, because it's, you know, again, we're moving on to Scratch next week, and I don't want you guys to get too far behind. So, so what we're going to do is we are going to start this up, and we are going to say, this is what we're doing right here. Oops, wrong one. This one right here. So our daily agenda. So we are going to talk about some tips and tricks. We're going to talk about exporting your GIF, and then we are going to talk about troubleshooting on the timeline. And, you know, we already took a look at some of the GIFs that have already been turned in, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, one suggestion I have for you is that my daughter, what she does is that she she actually chats with a friend when she's doing some of her work. So if you want to chat with friends while you are working on your work, like outside of school, that's totally fine, right? It's good to do it at a distance. So, or do the chatting at a distance. All right, so just like I said in the last video, we're organizing with modules. So if you click this link, it'll take you to modules. If you click this link, it'll take you the same place. So this is the module that we're working on. It's the About Me GIFs, slideshow to GIFs. Last time we moved through the overview. We talked about the slides. We talked about how to make your slides. So you worked on that already, and then how to turn in those slides. Today, if you're all done with that part, you can jump to this spot right here. So, and somebody just asked, are we able to adjust the speed of the GIF? And we will talk about that in just a second. So, so yeah, this is how you add your slides to a video. So if you missed this part of the lesson, or you want to go back, you can watch this video right here. And then we are going to talk again about editing and exporting your video again. That information is right here. And then we're going to talk about WeVideo. And then we're going to talk about turning in your video right here. So if I open my Drive, you guys should be working in your own slide deck. I'm going to look right there. There we go. That's the one I'm working on. Okay, so you should already have your slides. And then if you look right here in my downloads folder, I have already downloaded all of the slides right here. Okay, those are all right there. Okay, so and then there's somebody else's GIF right there, which is cool. While I'm thinking about it, now I'll move that later. So then what you're going to do is you're going to go over to WeVideo, wevideo.com. And then you are going to open, you're going to log in with Google, all right? And then you are going to create a new video project. So you're going to click right here, and then you are going to, right there, just edit my projects and then start editing. So if what you're going to do then, okay, and then you're going to import those slides that you had already exported from Google Slides. And remember, so if you need to export them, it's File, Download, PNG, right? So, and then you, like I said, you add a 1 for the first one, and then you go like that, all right? So, and what I'm expecting is that you have anywhere between 10 and 14 slides, probably, you know, give or take a few. And then you go to WeVideo and you press import and then browse to select. And then what you can do is you can, and there it is in my downloads folder, you can hold down Shift and select them all like this, okay? Just like, oops, too far. So I've selected all mine. I press open and then it opens them all into WeVideo. I'm going to cancel that one because I don't want to double up the slides that I've got. But my slides are right here. Once you have your slides into WeVideo, by the way, this is where you adjust the speed. heads up for those of you guys asking that question. So what you're going to do is you're going to just drag these into WeVideo, just like this. So I've got one slide number one. I'm going to drag it in, and then what I'm going to do is down here, way at the bottom, right here, okay? You are going to drag this, and what that does is it makes it kind of zooms in on the timeline of the video. Okay, and by the way, the video right here, we have the main video feed right here. You can add another video feed and switch back and forth between the two, and then you have your audio feed right here. We're not worrying about the audio feed in a GIF, right? Excuse me. Excuse me. So the next thing you're going to do is change the size or the length of time that that picture is going to be showing up in the video feed. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're just going to drag it just like that. And then you'll notice right there, so right there it said 12 seconds right there. If I zoom in a little bit more, it shows that it's 0.12 seconds or 0.12 seconds, right? So then we can add it, oops, there we go. So right now it's about 15, 16 seconds long, and then I can drag another one in there. I'm gonna make that just a little smaller. And then I can make this one about the same size. Okay, and then I can go and add like this. Now, there you go. And then like this. Okay, and then edit those to be about the same size. There we go. Okay, and then once you get enough in there, you can move the playhead and then press space and see how it goes. So if you don't like, just like somebody just asked, can we adjust the speed? Yes, you can. You have to go in and you have to do, like, you just drag them and then move the clip over and then drag it like that. Okay, so one thing I will say is that you need to make sure you bring these together unless you want it to be like this. So if I move the video play like this, if you want it to go black like that, you can leave a space there. But if you don't want it to go black, you have to smush them all back together. Okay, and you can do that. You can drag them like this. You can drag them back and forth, you know, select more than one, and then drag those back and forth like that. Okay, now I want to show you one other thing that people have been doing that I think is kind of cool, that I knew about, but I didn't include in our lesson. So if you guys are paying attention, you want to do this kind of thing, you're more than welcome to do it. So what I've got here is I've got two clips, and you can click on this up here, right there, and you can click on transitions. And these are video transitions. And what they are is they switch between, they allow you to switch between two clips, you know, and kind of either blend them together or use some cool effect. All right. So for instance, one of my favorites right here is cross dissolve. And then you just stick them in there like that. And then, okay, and you end up something like that. So it's because it's going from a slide with letters on it to a slide with nothing on it, it looks like it's dissolving away. If you, it would be kind of cool if you were thinking about doing it like this, but the problem is, you guys see how that's red right there? When it's red, that means that the two clips that you want to dissolve between aren't long enough. All right. So if you want to make them longer, you're going to have to kind of select everything like this. You're going to have to make them longer on this side and then long enough on this side. And that is so that there can be enough time that the clip is in the timeline for it to show up enough and then dissolve and cross between the two, right? So then you drag it. There you go. Oh, that's kind of cool. All right. So, and it's not pixelating because the other ones are doing that. That's actually kind of cool effect. I like that. So you guys are welcome to use those if you want to. When you're finished, all right, you're going to go ahead and click finish and then save it. Make sure your file name doesn't have any spaces. This has been tripping a couple people up. So like a lot of times what they'll do is I'll just type my name, right? Mr. Bush, right? and then they'll leave a space after that. That space, when it adds the .gif file extension on the end, Canvas has a hard time looking at that. So just make sure there's no spaces in your file name, save it, make it be as big as possible, and then it's going to save it into WeVideo, and you press export. Okay. And then once you get it in there, so you're going to wait right here. And what it's going to do, it's going to do two things. Either it's going to sit here and it's going to be ready in, it looks like 18 seconds. Interesting. Or it's going to be ready in just a little bit, and then it'll send you an email. All right, so once it sends you that email, it's ready to download. Now, it's actually kind of important to keep that email, because if you have, there it is right there. So it's going to send me an email in just a second. There it is. If you have that trouble turning it in, if you have trouble turning yours in, there's the email. It's coming, oops, right here. So if I open that up, there it is. If I open that email, it'll take me to the link. Oops, it opened on another folder. There you go. It looks like this. You can click download here, or that same thing is right here, download here. If you have trouble turning it in, by the way, I'm going to save it right there. Mr. Bush, save it right there. When you go back in, I click submit and choose file, and choose the file, and then turn it in like that. And then make sure that you put your comment in, right? And the comment, remember, you're actually commenting on this question right here. Where would gifts like this be useful, a useful way to communicate? So, so if you do that, so when you do that, make sure that you're all ready to go. And then if you have trouble turning it in, so after you turn in your comment, you can actually, like, I'll email and say, hey, try again. I want you to try again. And if it has a trouble like a second time, I will say, just turn in this link right here. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. When I say turn in the link to your like shared Google Drive document, or this is what you're sharing with me. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and stop the live share. And then if you have, oops, nope, not the